Day 53, freezer and pantry cooking. So I created this series to show people that they can live very well on less money. So hopefully I'm able to do that by providing some frugal cooking videos and frugal lifestyle ideas on a lower income. So anyway, today is day 53, and I do allow myself once a month to buy fresh produce and my favorite creamer, any cheeses. Oh, this one's gone. Any cheeses, non-dairy milks, anything like that. So that isn't included in the challenge. Well, it is, but it's low spend. So, and no spend pretty much on freezer food. And I have a lot of pantry staples that I need to use. Now, I'm not using up all my food. I'm just replacing what I have in my stash, because I think it's always a wonderful idea to keep a stash of food handy for those times when you can't get out. If there's a weather disaster, or you just are sick and you just can't get out to get food, you don't have to worry about it. So that's what this series is all about, and hopefully I can provide some ideas that you might find helpful along the journey. All right, my friends, I am cleaning out this cupboard, or I should say I'm shopping in this cupboard, and to my delight I found several things that I totally forgot I had. So I just need to clean that. I'm not getting rid of any of this stuff, even though I don't use it all the time. This cupboard's kind of hard to get to. I have to move this cart over. But I need to clean back there because it's gross. So anyway, let me show you what I found and what I'm excited about. Okay, so here I was already saying I need a new frying pan because the one I use a lot is bowed on the bottom. So I found this one. It's brand new and it's copper coated. Never used it. Shoved it in the cupboard and forgot about it. Then over here, now I knew I had this, but I forgot how it worked. And it's a crepe maker. And you put the batter and you dip it in, and then you turn it around and you bake the crepe. So I was happy to find that again. And I found this big, huge spatula. So, and I knew I had this tofu press. So that I knew I had. And then I have this mixer with a ball in it, which would be great for making crepes. So I have that. And then, of course, my egg cooker, which I use a lot. And then I have my two little nostalgia appliances. This one is a waffle maker. I knew I had that. And my mini griddle that I like for cooking eggs. So I knew I had that. And then I have this little tiny electric frying pan that I knew I had, but I wasn't sure where it was in the cupboard. So I'm going to dig that out and use it because for brunch today I want to make a gravy. So I found that, and then I was shopping around on Amazon couple days ago, and I wanted a crepe pan because the one I used was kind of hard to get in there and turn the crepe. So I almost bought one, and lo and behold, I have a crepe pan. So this is great for making tortillas and crepes. And then under here, I knew I had this. It's just a big square frying pan. So there's a few more things in there that I have to drag out. And yeah, it's exciting. These little appliances were really hard to get to before. So what I did was I stood some of these up on their sides and put them in a plastic bag to keep them clean, so I can just pull them out of there. Same with this, and now I have more room to put my smaller appliances right here. So now I can have access to all the things that I need in this cupboard without moving 100 things to get it out. So all clean and organized. Well, it's brunch time, day 53. Let's see what we have in the refrigerator. All right, here we are. Not looking too crowded. So this came out of the freezer the other day, and it's the last little piece of savory vegetable breakfast casserole. So I'm going to have that, and I want to make some eggs, some hard-boiled eggs for all the greens that I have. The rest are in the drawer for salads. I really like eggs in my salad. So I think I'm going to cook 3 or 4 eggs. I'm going to get those out, and then I also need some milk. So I have this soy milk that I want to use up because I want a gravy. All right, I'll meet you at the stove. Brunch. So I have this little skillet here. This should be just the right amount of size for me. I'm going to put, a couple of tablespoons of margarine in here. And it's just Imperial margarine that I got at Aldi's for 89 cents. So this thing really heats up fast. I've had it for a long time, like everything else, and I figured, geez, why get a big frying pan out when I can use this one? It's easy to clean. I think they still sell these on Amazon, but I'm not sure. You'd have to go look. I should open an Amazon store, I think. What do you think? And I could just put links in the comment section. But anyway, I have some flour, some pepper, and some vegetable soup base. So I want to make a gravy to go with my casserole. But the first thing I need to do is make a roux, which is easy to do. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour at a time, because I don't want a lot of gravy, so maybe a tablespoon of flour. And I may need to add some more, I'm not sure. So let's just take a look. So anyway, I'm constantly going through my house and organizing something. First of all, I like to do that, and secondly, it keeps me from getting to the store and buying more stuff, because I realize I don't need any more stuff. I have everything I need right here in my little corner of the world. So I have my casserole baking in the air fryer, and I'm going to add a little bit more flour, maybe another teaspoon or so. Thicken this up. And then I'm going to add some milk. But first I want to add a little bit of this seasoning, not too much. because I don't want it too salty, and this is salty. So I can always add more later. And I'm just going to let this flour cook for a minute to take the flour taste out of it. So if you have limited space, some of these really tiny appliances are a good thing to get, because they don't take up much room in your cupboard, and you don't have to leave them all out on your counter. So I'm going to add a little bit of milk to this now. And use whatever milk you have. Just a little bit at a time. You don't want to make a lumpy gravy. And if you get a little bit of lumps, you can always use a whisk. But if you add the milk a little bit at a time, you shouldn't get too many lumps. So it's easy to make a gravy. And this one's a veggie gravy. Some people use bacon fat with the roux, but I don't eat bacon, because I'm vegetarian. So I'll just use my plant-based milk and a veggie base. And then, of course, I'm going to taste this to see if it has enough veggie stock. You can also make something like this with a roux and a veggie stock if you don't want a milk gravy. But I wanted a milk gravy to put over my casserole. Alright, so I'm just going to add more milk and let this cook for a little bit and show you what it looks like once it's done cooking. Alright, so this is done cooking, and you can make this as thick or as thin as you like. And I'm going to add some pepper, make it a pepper gravy. Now, you can use this as a sausage gravy if you want to make sausage and biscuits. Just add some cooked sausage. Or you could put bacon in it, plant-based or animal bacon. So this is a real quick and easy gravy that you can use for anything. You can put it over your potatoes, biscuits, English muffins, bread. So let me give this a taste. And I'm the only one eating this, so I can double dip as often as I want. That's really good. Alright, well, I'm going to wait for my casserole to be done, and I'll be back. While I'm waiting for my casserole to get done, I'm going to finish up this yogurt I made the other day before it goes bad. The homemade yogurt does not last very long. So I have some vanilla and some sugar substitute in here. So if you want to make homemade yogurt, probably not a good idea to make too big of a batch. And it's starting to get thin too, so that tells me it's going to be past its prime pretty soon. So, and then my eggs are done, and I always like to keep, not always, but I like to keep some hard-boiled eggs on hand. That way, if I want an egg salad for lunch or an egg for my green salad, it's all ready to go, and it adds some more protein to my diet. Alright, and I'm also going to add some grapes to this yogurt. And my casserole is done. Okay, brunch is served. Yogurt with grapes and a little bit of my homemade berry jam. Casserole with gravy. Yummy. Brunch, day 53. Let's make some dinner for day 53. And I know what I want to make. I want to make a veggie soup. I have a lot of vegetables, and I know I have some veggie broth in here. So I have this veggie broth that I made in January. So I want to use that up. And I want to look in here somewhere to see if I have any chicken strips. I'm not sure. So I can't do that with one hand, so I'll have to take a look and see what I can find. So I'll meet you at the stove after I find what I need. Day 53. Now this is a little tiny slow cooker. It keeps me from making a huge batch that I have to either freeze, which I don't want to do, or eat for days. So I'm trying to rein myself in here. Alright, so in here I have about a tablespoon of butter melting, or margarine. This is margarine. And I'm going to put these spices in there. This is this complete seasoning, and yes, I know it has MSG. That doesn't bother me. This is cumin. A little bit of cumin, about half a teaspoon. Turmeric, because it's healthy and for some color. And then, of course, the breakfast blend that I still have a little bit of. That was well worth the $5 I paid for it. But I had these 2 lumps of it in there, so the soup will melt it. And then I'm going to taste it and put some of this vegetable bouillon in there because I already have some soup. So I'm going to let this heat up in there, and hopefully some of the spices will get aromatic. But I would put the lid on because otherwise these things don't get that hot. So in the meantime, I picked out some veggies that I want to put in here. And I want to make this like a chickeny soup. So what I have here is some Butler, well, let me put this up. What I have here are some Butler Soy Curls, and I keep those in the freezer because I keep them for a long time. They don't have to be frozen or refrigerated, and this is what they look like, and they get a very chickeny kind of flavor and texture once they're rehydrated. They're dry. So I'm going to put a handful of this in my chicken-like soup. But I'll wait until I get everything else done. Alright. I'm also going to add some of this Mrs. Dash salt-free seasoning. About a teaspoon of that. That gives a good flavor. And that's a blend of a bunch of different spices. So I'm going to put that in too, but it gives it a chicken-like flavor. I'm not going to add this until after I add my broth because I want to see how salty this is, and then I'll just fill it up with water. Okay, so the vegetables I'm going to be putting in here, I have some frozen mixed veggies. I want to let this heat up a little bit first. So I'll be back shortly. Don't forget to save your onion peels. I freeze these and label and date. Alright, my veggie broth is thawed, and I'm just going to add this to my spice mixture here. And the reason that I put a little butter in here is because of the mouthfeel. If you're using real meat, it has fat in it. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to add the butter, and you don't need to add the butter either way. So, and I'm sure this is going to be tasting pretty salty. Not too bad. All right, I'm going to add my veggies. So I have here my frozen mixed vegetables, and I always put too much in, so I'm just going to put a handful in because I have some fresh veggies too. So that should be enough. Then I have a handful of baby carrots that I cut into chunks. I'm going to add those. And I have half a sweet onion here. And I like my onion chunky, so that's going in. And then I have some greens. These are power greens that I bought the other day for $1. And I like those chopped up too. I don't like big chunks of spinach with the stems. I don't mind the stems if they're cut up. So that's going in there. And then I'm going to put also, I want this to be a hearty soup. So I want a lot of veggies in here. Then I have the coleslaw mix that I bought the other day. And I have that in a green bag with a paper towel to absorb the moisture so it doesn't get bad too soon. And I'm going to put a handful of that in too. Like I said, not too much because I tend to overdo it. And I'm going to add more water to this too. And then last but not least, I'm going to add my soy curls. And these will swell up. So I don't want the pieces too big. So I'm just going to break some of these in half. And I'm not going to put too many of these in either. So some of these soy curls are fairly large, but these are on the smaller side because the bag's been around in the freezer for a while. So that's it, and then I'm going to add a little water, give it a taste, and see if it needs more seasoning, but I think it's pretty well seasoned. And add a little more water. So I'm just going to fill this up with more water. And then tonight when I'm hungry, I'll have a nice hearty soup ready. I don't like to cook at night. I tend to just eat some junk then, and I want a good healthy meal. So I'll probably have this with a salad, maybe, or a sandwich. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to cook this now. It's 1:30. I'm going to let this cook till about 5:30. It should be done by then. And dinner, day 53. Veggie soup is done. There's the soy protein. Looks like chicken. Tastes like chicken. And here is my dinner, day 53. Soup. Salad with homemade ranch, the cheese I bought the other day, at Aldi's for $4 and something, and my Italian rolls. So this is a great dinner for a cold day here in Ohio. Dinner day 53. Time for an evening cup of tea, chamomile. It helps my digestion. Cheers. So today was fun shopping my cupboard, and I need to go around the kitchen and shop more of my cupboards. But I like to do that, a couple times a year anyway, where I go through all my things and I really remember what I have. So if you're feeling like you don't have enough stuff, try going through your stuff and see. Maybe you don't have enough stuff. But if that's the case, then, you know, see what relatives are getting rid of, or go to the secondhand shops. You can get some really good deals there, especially if you're looking for small appliances. Because people are always getting rid of their small appliances, except for me. I'm always keeping them because I enjoy them. I really enjoy cooking with them. So anyway, I can't make these videos too long because I have a problem with my phone not having enough memory. So I'm going to call it a day and wish you abundance. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.